Hi, welcome back. Now we can start our first mozmill programming tutorial. Basically, we need to configure three important functions, which is the setup module, setupTest, and teardownTest. Setup module is to acquire the browser controller. With the browser controller, we can program mimicking the user action. Next will be setupTest. This is a function call before a test is performed. teardownTest is a function call after a test is performed. So bear with me if you don't understand the code. I'll go through with you shortly. When I click on run, if I run the test, I will run the setup module first. The setup module will acquire the browser controller, followed by running a setup test for every test that I'm going to perform. In this case, there's two tests that I'm going to perform: testNUS and testMozilla. When I run testNUS, I will call setupTest. And after I finish running testNUS, I will call teardownTest. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what will happen after I run this program. To run this program, we go to Test, Run Editor. If your code is inside this editor, or you can choose to run file if the file is in this, if the code is on the file, or if you want to run directory. So in this case, I will run editor. When I click on run editor, my first thing will be setting up the module, like what I mentioned earlier, followed by next will be the setup test, setting up test. Now I will click on the new navigator tab. This is a new navigator tab, and I open up google.com and wait for the page to load. So if you notice, there's a new navigator tab that's open, and I'm in google.com. And now after I set up the test, I will run the first test, which is testNUS. And I will punch in University of Singapore, National University of Singapore, into the search box, which is Q. The name of this search box is Q. And I'll click on the btnI. btnI in this case is I'm feeling lucky. If you notice the next one, I will test on Mozilla, and I'll be searching on the button, which is Google search. I'll touch on this later. So when I click on OK, I'll punch in National University of Singapore, click on I'm feeling lucky, and wait for the page to load and sleep for 3 seconds. Now I'm in National University of Singapore webpage, and I sleep for 3 seconds. After I finish running this test, I'll call for a teardownTest, which is this. By calling the teardownTest, I will close the menu, which is this tab. So after I tear down the test, I will be running my second test. In this case, it will be testMozilla. I will set up the test first. The same thing. I will click on the new navigator tab and bring me to google.com, and now I will test for Mozilla. So I will be typing Mozilla into Q and click the button G, which is Google search, and wait for the page to load and sleep for 3 seconds. After my test has finished, I go for teardownTest, and after this, I will close everything, and that's the end of the testing.